Well, hello again, welcome back. Today we've got a busy day. We have carpet fitter coming to do a quote. We have Hello, welcome back. Today we have a very busy day. We have the cleaner in today to do a bit of cleaning in the kitchen and bathroom. We have carpet fitter coming to give us a quote. We have decorator coming to visit a quote. And we have the gas man here right now who's doing a boiler check, but we've got a bit of a problem, so we're going to go through and talk you through it. Okay, see you in a minute. So here we are by the boiler. We've got the covers off the boiler, but we found a problem. We can't seem to find the filling loop anywhere. Now, what the filling loop is, the boiler is a combi boiler, so it's all run on mains pressure. So between the central heating system, which is the radiators, and the cold water feed to the house, there should be a pipe called the filling loop which pressurizes the system. Now we can't find it anywhere, so the plumber has gone off to the shops to try and get some parts, and we're going to fit a filling loop, so we'll catch up with you in a minute. So just to explain about the filling loop, I'll talk you through it here. So here we go. We've got gas main, water main, hot and cold feed. So between here and here, this is the gas main's here. This should have a pipe, a flexible pipe running between here, a loop, and here. And what you do, this is the cold water mains, and what we do is we open the tap, and this pressurizes the central heating system to the same, well, not to the same pressure, but up here there'll be a little, it's switched off at the moment, right, the mains, but up here there'll be a little readout, and that should be 0.5 bar to about 1 bar. Different boilers, maybe different pressures, but that should have a reading on it, and we haven't. Hang on, I'll turn it on to show you. There we go. Right, that's I don't know if you can see that in the light. 0.4 bar, and it's flashing red because we're low on pressure, so this won't turn on. See, nothing. So, and we can't work out, here we go, we can't work out how to pressurize it. It must have been pressurized, but we both of us cannot find out how to do it. So he's off to get a filling loop, and we're going to show you how to put that in. So talk to you in a minute. Okay, so we've got the plumber here, and he's going to put the filling loop in. We'll talk you through it. Here we go. Here's his, look, here we are. Hang on, we just got your back there. Let me see your back. Got your phone number. All right. There we are. All right. Okay, so the central heating guy is back. Matthew. Here we are. So we're going to put the loop in now.
Right, so we just pre-press some of the bits out of position, just to make life a bit easier for ourselves.
He's got one of those snazzy, what do you call that?
Press gun.
A press tool?
Yeah.
So we don't do any soldering anymore. Soldering's old hat nowadays.
Saves a hell of a lot more time. So.
And obviously you have to buy the correct fittings.
Yes. Yeah,
they are a different type of fitting.
Yeah. So you've got you basically got M jaws or you've got V jaws. So I've gone for M, but basically so M is a single point press.
Yes.
Around the O-ring, whereas the V jaws are a double point press. So it presses either side of the O-ring.
Yeah. Okay. And there's two different dies there, one for 15mm, one for 22mm. So you can just swap the dies over.
Alright, so
there we go.
So where are we? That's our cold main there.
So we've identified all the pipes that we need. We need the cold main, which is 15, and we're going to connect it basically to the hot feed to the radiators, which is 22. So we'll come back in a sec. There we go. Okay, so we're just cutting the pipe off now. And we're going to put that tea, which is just made, just down there by the towel. We're going to put those teas in.
In fact, I might have to clean that up a little bit.
There we are. So what we got here, we got a gap in the pipe now. You just put, where is it?
So,
that's going to go in there.
So because we've got O-rings on the inside, we just have to ensure that the pipe is fully clean.
Yeah, and we clean that with a bit of wire wool in the old days. I don't know what you use now. You've probably got a special tool for that as well.
Well, not quite, but just a bit of cleaning strip, that's all. If I can find it then.
This is typical of these old pipes where you've been decorating around the pipes and you get paint splashes on the pipes. You need to get rid of all that before you try and make a joint.
Yeah. Oh god, stubborn. That is the only downside with press. It's the fittings are so big.
Yeah, yeah. Go on, you can do it.
I'll just have to loosen that.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. So there we go, there's the first tee in. We've just got to squeeze the joints up with his special tool.
If I can get it in. Which sometimes is a big if.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so that is...
There we are. So the principle of this is we're going to have two of them, and in between those two vertical stub shafts, stub pipes, we're going to have a little loop which is a braided pipe, flexible pipe. So we'll come back in a minute. So we have the first part of the loop in here, the nice new copper. We're just going to make a cut. Water's coming out there. We're just going to make a cut through here, which is the 22mm for the hot water supply to the rads. Got some pipe work down here to join together. Okay, back in a minute.
It's getting a bit damp down here.
Okay.
Everything that wants to leak will leak.
Oh, I know. I know.
I went with this strain off because I thought it would be better off than the older one.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that was wrong.
Okay, so we've got the boiler running now. Eventually, let's show you the new filling loop. Just get a bit of light on the subject. Here we go. There's the new loop. 2 taps. And the boiler is now running. This is the temperature of the radiators, the water in the radiators. This is the temperature of the water in the taps. Now, there's no external controls on this. This is a very basic set of controls. So what we're going to do is, if you remember over in the living room just there's a timer and a thermostat. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all that out. This is the cabling here. We're going to take all that out and we're going to put a wireless thermostat in. So you have a little box in your hand that you can put in any room you like, and you can set the 7-day programmer for that to bring the hot water or the central heating on whenever you like, and it's all much more efficient. So we'll get back to you in a minute with that. What we're doing now is we're actually doing the gas check now. It's taken us an hour or so to get the boiler to work, which isn't too bad really, the big scheme of things. So now we're doing an exhaust gas analysis. If you look up now, we've got the probe in the exhaust, and that little gadget there is analysing the amount of oxygen, the amount of carbon monoxide and the amount of carbon dioxide that's in the gas, and that all has to be a certain reading. What's that reading got to be, sir?
Varies based on a manufacturer's basically, so it's got to be under 200 parts per million for it to be safe within a room sealed appliance. It differs based on the kilowatt output basically for the appliance.
There we go. This is a very small boiler. It's only a 24 kilowatt output, so it's probably the smallest boiler you can get.
Based on the combi, yeah.
Yeah. So there we go. He's going to take his readings there. And that looks like the carbon monoxide is the important one, because that's the one that's going to kill you. That's 59 parts per million at the moment, so it's well under the 200 that it has to be. So what other checks do we have to do for the gas check?
So we've got to test your gas itself, test that for leaks. Just do a general sort of visual check over the installation. Make sure that the flue itself is
intact,
integral and whatnot. Yep. So that's all looked after. I always check the inlet pressure coming into the appliance as well to make sure that that's at the suitable amount.
Yes, because you have to have a certain amount of gas pressure while it's running, don't you?
Yes.
So that it doesn't starve itself of gas.
Yeah. You can end up with explosive ignition.
With the is that a hygrometer?
Well, it's a U gauge, as we call it, or a manometer.
Manometer, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we are. Okay. So if you look in the back here, that's all the gubbins. That's the pump itself, which in the old days would be outside in the airing cupboard or something, but it's all integral now, so it's all it looks different, but everything's basically the same as it used to be in the old days, but now it's all in one unit. There we are. That's the heat exchanger itself. That's the boiler, the burner, and that's the heat exchanger there. Right, so I made a mistake there. That's actually the expansion tank. That's the heat exchanger and the burner. And if you look in there, you can actually see the flame, which a good flame should be nice and blue. That's got a bit yellow in it. Is that okay, sir?
The blue tips up at the top, so that's what yours is basically at the bottom of the burner.
Okay, well there we are.
That's within not too bad.
And the more efficient flame is nice and blue. Blue is hotter, yellow is sooty and cold. We don't want yellow flames.
Right. So in order to do this, basically what we're going to have to do is turn off the appliance, turn off the gas. I'll try to stop that buzzing noise.
So we're going to check the pressure of the gas in the pipe to the supply.
If I can get that to turn off.
We've got a little bleed valve in the corner there.
And then what we do is we turn the gas back on. Standing pressure was sitting at roughly about 23.
Yep.
Turn it on and we get the boiler to kick into maximum. And that will tell us obviously our lowest gas pressure that we'll be receiving at the gas valve. As it stands is...
So there we go. That's about 18 or 19. If we just show you there. There you are. There we go. So everything's in order there.
As it should be, yeah. Turn the gas off again.
Disconnect that, and then there's a little bleed screw that you just tighten up the bleed screw there. There we go. Job done.
What I will do is I'll spray some leak detection fluid on that test nipple just to make sure that we have tightened it up correctly.
There you are. Safety first. Right, we'll come back in a minute.